Welcome back to Not Real Fishing, everybody, and today we are back here and the ravine is filled in and it looks like they're building a little rock dam. This will be pretty nice once it all fills up. Water levels look really low today. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some cane pole fishing with artificials. The water looks really low, but it actually looks really clear. I just saw a fish swim to the right of us. What I'm thinking of doing is probably starting on this point. Man, I guess where they put all this extra dirt, it's overflowed into this. And if y'all see, it's so much more sand here. I just spooked two little bass. There's so much sand here that it's filled in almost this whole area. So, but it's filtering the water, making it cleaner, so the water's clearer. But I'm worried about the shallowness of this. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try to get, I think we're gonna go ahead and go down. Because you can see they have like these big chunks of concrete. So there's a little bluegill right there. Y'all can't see him, there's a bluegill right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get on this little ledge. I did bring my net this time. So hopefully that means that we have some better chances of landing anything on the larger size. Because today, we're using the brim buster, which is a nice little bluegill right there. Nice little bass. Okay, so there's quite a few fish swimming around over here. The water is very clear. What we're gonna be using is I already have this little soft plastic, like little chartreuse worm looking bait. We're just gonna start with that because it's already on. I'm worried that this isn't gonna go well because there's quite a bit of current. The fish have already seen me a couple times. I didn't know I had a leader on here. Huh. I actually put a leader on. So I think my main line is probably 10 pound and then my little leader is probably less. Now this could be a good opportunity to get a hold of some nice sized bass if they're down there. I do see a bunch of bluegills. I've seen like 1, 2, 3. There's one right in front of me looking at us. Man, this rod is so light. I love it. It's kind of short though for how long I've got the leader. I really need to be standing up for it, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. Seen quite a few fish already come up and peck at it, but they're missing the hook. Like that little guy. There we go. Go ahead and get my net ready. Should have done that already, but I want to start practicing with my net. Get used to it. All right, so first fish of the day. Looks like it might be a little green sunfish, maybe. Might be a little greeny. Look at him. Absolute. Oh. Absolutely beautiful little fish. All right. Well, we are gonna let him go. See how this goes. I want to try this. See if this is better than throwing them back in these spots where the bank's so high. Maybe I can kind of lay the net down and let them swim out in the situation. Oh yeah. That worked great. That's a lot easier than throwing them back. And not just because it's more humane, it's just easier. Less splashing on the water. It is more humane on the fish too, but fish are pretty tough in my experience, so. Just kind of tapping this along the bottom. Is that a snag or a fish? A snag. Alright guys, we've made it to higher ground. Let's give this a try. See if there's anything hanging out. This creek is really, really shallow right now, which is probably was why it was so good using topwater last time we were here, because it's so shallow. There's almost no water left. Which, you know, isn't the best. But all right, we're gonna move down a little bit more. All right guys, I'm switching to like a yellowish color one. I'm noticing that they're going up to the bait, they're looking at it, and they're turning around once they see it. And I'm wondering if the shape is right, but they don't like the color. So we're getting rid of the green and trying yellow, a more natural color, to see if that makes a difference. Or if it's the shape that they don't like. Well, no takers on that run. That little guy. So maybe the more natural color is better. But we had a hit on the last one too. Just because we had a hit doesn't mean that it's better. Because right now it's tied. I do need to fix it. He kind of messed up my presentation a little bit. A little stinker. There we go. I don't want to put my backpack back on yet, in case we're going to end up changing this out in just a couple minutes. If we don't get anything on this one here, because I mean, like I said, I can see the fish. Sorry, what I was saying was I can see the fish coming up and checking out the bait. And if they don't go for this one, then it could be the shape they don't like. A little bass. Oh, we had a little bass. He wasn't too small, actually, to be honest. But he spit us. That's right, we might get another chance in a little bit. Alright guys, we're switching to a black and yellow curly tail. I'm hoping this will give a nice little action when it goes to like sink and then come up, sink and then come up. Because I'm having trouble doing like a straight retrieve and keeping it just under the surface because the wind is making it hard to bring it back in. So hopefully this will help alleviate that. It'll also kind of give it a nice little twitching motion. Don't know yet. We will see. Oh, I'm on a fish. Huh. A little fish, guys. I don't know if my net's gonna reach him, but we're gonna try to get him as close as possible to it. Oh, got him. All right. Looks like we got us a little bass. Basically the target species of the day, and he just spit our hook out, so that's nice. Nowhere near as big as the one we hooked earlier, nor is it as big as the one I saw swimming. This one is tiny compared to them. They're probably 4 times this size. All right, well, I'm gonna try to get him in the water with the net. I don't think it's gonna work because the bank is still so low, but we're gonna try. He's still closer than he was if I threw him, so that works for now. All right, well, this black curly tail worked pretty good. I'm using a black jig head. I think it's a beetle spin jig head. And then I have this black curly tail tied on with a yellow tail. Seems to be working so far, but we'll see if that continues. All right, guys, there's something big in the water back here. I don't know what it is, but it's splashing the top of the water. It could be an otter. I don't know. I'm trying to stay as close away from the bank as I can. I'm hoping it's a big old bass feeding up here, but I don't know. I'm trying to walk without being too noticeable, but there's definitely something back here disturbing the water. I see some turtles. I'm also trying to walk without getting bit by a snake. If y'all didn't know, my mom is back in the hospital. She had the bowel surgery. That went well, but then she came home and, you know, she had the staples across her stomach. You know, she's all gutted up basically, and she had a blood clot in her arm when she was in the hospital, and they gave her medicine to get rid of it, and they kept her there. Then they let her go home a couple days later. Well, a couple days later, her leg starts to swell really bad, and we're not sure why. Come to find out, the blood clot had moved. Ooh, there's a bunch of bluegills over there. I think we're gonna start right here. Try not to get too much closer to the water, but yeah, she so she now has a blood clot in her leg. We took her back to the emergency room a couple days ago. So she's back in the hospital, and they say that her bowels are now still obstructed even after they did the surgery. And we don't know how bad the obstruction is, but the thing that's crazy is they gave her the blood thinner to clear up the blood clot, and then she started bleeding from her stitches. So they had to not move her from the room she was in because they're worried that if they moved her, the blood clot would move. And if they, sorry, I'm a little distracted. But basically, she's got a blood clot. She's bleeding. They can't move her because if they do move her, it risks the blood clot. Come here, you're a little guy. I don't think I need the net for you. If they do move her, then it could make the blood clot move, and it could go to her heart or her brain or anywhere else. Talked to them this morning, found out they may have to do surgery to remove the blood clot if it doesn't work with the medicine that they're giving her. So that's not necessarily the best thing, and that's why I'm here. My sister and my girlfriend are watching my little brother, so I can do this. Come on, little dude. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get another one. I was getting a bunch of little taps over there. I'm gonna try over this way real quick, where this big log is, just in case there's like a bass hanging out or something. Not too many casts, but I'll give it a couple, just to see. Ooh, excuse me. Just to see if there's anything down here. Hungry. Nothing there. I don't want to let it go too deep, little turtle, because then it'll get stuck under the log. Yeah, I'm not gonna fish this spot right now. Let's go back to where we were getting hits. That was quick. Hope you guys can see. I'm getting a lot of tail hits, but no real commitment yet. There's that first little one. Which I have a feeling there's a lot of little gills in here that are going to be tapping it like crazy. Get our net ready. He got the hook. Come on. Come here. He's a bit bigger than the last one. Oh, missed the net. That's why I wanted to practice this. All right, come here. He missed the net, so we're just gonna go ahead and pull him up the old-fashioned way. But another nice little gill. Very pretty little dude. All right, we're gonna put him in the net and then flick him out when he gets down by the water to prevent him being so high up. There we go. All right, we're gonna move. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do one more cast, and then we're gonna move down a little bit more. I'm seeing a lot of movement in the water, and I'm running out of time. That was the whole reason why I brought my mom back up, is I can't be out here too long because my sister and my girlfriend aren't necessarily qualified to take care of my little brother for too long. Because like I said, he does have special needs, for those of you who don't know. So I have to get back to help take care of him. And my dad can't do it because he's in the hospital with my mom. Oh, little bite. All right, guys, we're re-rigged up. We're gonna try this fat body shad. I'm gonna use the salt and pepper color. I like salt and pepper. I normally use these salt and pepper curly tails, but I want to try the fat belly to see if it fishes different. And I'm sure it will, but I want to see if that fatter belly will be a little bit more attractive for a big old bass. Trying to be somewhat quiet to get up to the bank here. Oh, we had a bass too, and he spit it. Oh, that sucks. I got my net though, maybe there's another one. Oh, bluegill just came and got it. Man, that's frustrating. Is that a fish? Or is that a turtle? Please be a fish. It's a turtle. That's gotta be a turtle. There's no way that's a fish. Is that a fish? Or is that a stick? It's a stick. No. No, that was a fish. Holy crap, I'm gonna need my net if I can get this fish to eat. We may not be able to land him, he might be too big. But holy crap, that was a big fish. Holy crap, that was a big fish, guys. That was a really big fish. That may be the biggest bass I've ever seen in here. I mean, he was big. Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust something on this. I just realized it on this fat body shad. I have too much gel between the body and my hook point. My hook wasn't exposed very well. I have since fixed that. Holy crap, dude, this fish has got to be at least 2 to 3 pounds. Like, he's probably just gonna break me off if I hook him, because there's no way I can land him with this. I don't think I have enough backbone, nor do I think I have enough my only hope is to get a really good hook set, then hopefully be able to drag him into the net really quickly. Oh no. Well, that didn't sound good. We're snagged. Okay, we got off. First 3-pounder of the day. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at the size of that bass. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, guys. I don't think that came up on camera, but he was chasing this stick. That's how big he is. He was chasing the stick that I snagged. Not chasing my bait. The stick. All right, guys, we're gonna try to get them with an old schoolie, big old bright spoon. I don't think it's gonna work, but they're not eating food. So if I can just make them angry, maybe we can get them to do like a reaction strike or something. And I'm hoping the bigger presentation will help. I would normally change the big I would normally change the treble hook to a single hook. Put like a little stinger or a teaser on there. That's not really an option at the moment. Got one. It's not the real big one, but it's fairly nice. Oh no! I forgot I didn't have 3-pound test anymore. I rushed that fight. That was all my fault. Dang. That's really unfortunate. The reason why I like these crappie tubes is they don't have the best action, but I tend to have really good hookup ratios with them. So that's another reason why I really like them. Because that back tube is split, your hook is basically free forming, floating, and there's nothing in the way of the hook. There's no plastic for them to get snagged on to like prevent them from getting the hook. It's just very open. If that makes any sense, because the back is like splayed open. I find it works really good for like bluegill and crappie, obviously. Getting tapped right now. Little guy. That's what I mean. See, if we were using a regular tube or a regular curly tail, we wouldn't have got this fish. But because the back of the crappie tube is basically cute little guy, I have to throw this one. There's no way I can reach the water. What I mean is, because your hook point comes out past the body, there's nothing to stop them from getting the hook, because this is all like open. So even if they go for it and they push it forward, it's got splays open, so there's the chances of them missing the hook are a lot lower, unless they're just barely snipping the tail, which does happen. But that's with any soft plastic that has a tail on it, really. But your chances of a hookup are much better than like a curly tail, because a curly tail, they got to swallow the whole tail, and then they've also got to get up past the body a little bit too. Which, getting past the body isn't too much of an issue with this, because you know, there's a bass over this way. All the medium-sized / smaller bass are eating, but the really large ones are not. Which really makes me think that they're either spawning or they're like about to be, because they don't want anything to do with anything food related. Which is weird, because normally when I come here with bass, they just tear up anything and everything that hits the water. Like this little bluegill just did. Pretty little guy. Very pretty gill. Frustrations abound. This would have been a good day to go tenkara fishing, but I didn't bring it. Tell me how it goes. The days that are great for the cane pole, I don't bring it. The days that are great for tenkara, I don't bring it. And then rinse and repeat that, and that's the fishing cycle. Little guy. Another little gill. But every bass that I've seen has just, like, I'm seeing bluegills come up and feed on the surface, but every bass that I see is just cruising around, not eating anything.